Hello, dear followers and readers. I usually don't subscribe to paranoid delusions, paranoid conspiracies. No, that's not true. I do all the time. But this one has struck a chord with me deep because I'm an 80s baby, 90s kid. And one of the shows I grew up watching was this one, even though it was older folks. I found it very funny. And so, we take to Twitter, where user Michael Harriot has tweeted some disturbing news about, and I'm sure you may have heard, but no one's given voice to it. And that's what I do. I bring voice to everything, even paranoia. And so Michael Harriot has posited on Twitter that the Golden Girls were actually members of an organized crime syndicate. And he lays out his thesis. He lays out the steps. And it's not improbable. It's not implausible. It's almost quite possible. He says, I'm going to read it. He says, and I read, this might be the most controversial thing I've ever tweeted, but it's time America faces the truth about a group of beloved historical figures. So here goes. Blanche, Dorothy, Rose, and Sophia, the aforementioned Golden Girls of the 80s sitcom, were actually members of an organized crime syndicate. To wit, you'll probably think that they were innocent widowers because that's what they want you to think. Nah, these women were gangsters. The Golden Girls debuted in 1985, right at the beginning of the crack cocaine epidemic. They moved there to push that weight. Ice Cube, I push rhymes like weight, but that's neither here nor there. I'm getting into the weeds. The muscle of the organization was provided by Rose, whereas we called her Ruthless Rose Nyland. Rose acted innocent and sweet, but she wasn't as dumb as she pretended. She claimed her husband died, but anyone with two eyes can see she killed her husband for the insurance money. First of all, who moves from St. Olaf, Minnesota to Miami to save money? Miami is one of the most richest places in quality of life to live ever. Who would move there? No one, unless you have a plug, a connect, if you will, for the Colombian nose candy. Teeth candy, too. So she moved down there and meets Blanche the Butcher Devereaux, whose family made their money in the sex trade and dope game. Wait, y'all knew Blanche's daddy was a pimp, right? Yeah, he wore a white pimp suit, hat, and even talked like a pimp. They said he owned a plantation outside of Atlanta where Blanche grew up, but it sounds like they were selling and growing more than just that. He had an unnatural relationship with Blanche, and that always bothered me. And his name was literally, Big Daddy. Bruh. That's a pimp. But in the mid-'80s, Atlanta was getting blacker and blacker. Blackety black black. So, he sent Blanche down to Miami to move his crops. Where would Blanche meet people rich enough to spend that kind of money? How could she move that kind of weight in and out of the country? Do you remember Blanche's job? She was an art dealer. That's the perfect cover. First of all, people in Florida ain't buying art like that unless it's velvet. I don't know what that means, but it means something to Michael Harriot. Secondly, it's a known fact that 72% of art dealers belong to a cartel. They front the money. They make it move. They hide it away. But they needed someone smart and tough enough to handle the day-to-day business. Who could that be? Dangerous Dorothy Zumack. She was smart, tough, down on her luck, nothing to lose, and built like an outside linebacker who sometimes played safety in the nickel defense. Dorothy didn't take no shit. She taught in the inner city schools of New York City during the 70s, so she spoke Spanish. Plus, her voice was deep. Her voice was deep. Not that deep, but even as a kid, when she spoke, I was like, "Is that really her voice?" So, her voice was deep. The Colombians probably thought they were dealing with James Earl Jones or Luther Vandross. They probably thought they were on the phone when she called them. Now, of course, you need respect. You need respect, a distribution network, and connections to let people know not to fuck with you. Sophia, she'll kill ya, Petrillo. Come on, fam. Don't tell me y'all can't see this all coming together. First of all, she was Sicilian from the old country. Oh, yeah. You know what that means. They'll fuck you up, all right? That's old school mob, okay? Old school, where they come on there? La Costa Nostra, from whence they came. And she talked mad shit, okay? Plus, have y'all ever wondered why her nursing home burned down right before she moved in? Right when everyone moved in. To keep the cops off their trail, it was a cover. Don't forget, Golden Girls debuted 1 year after Miami Vice. You should be putting these gummy bear, gumdrop breadcrumbs together now. So while Crockett and Tubbs were locking people up, the Golden Girls were quietly running an international drug ring. It's all right there if you open your third eye. Here's the final clue. Do you know how much money a person would have to assure people that if they threw a party and invited everyone they knew, they'd still be sure that the biggest gift would be from them? And you know what the card attached would say? But notice they never say what's inside the gift. Cocaine, bruh. Pure cocaine. What is it? Cocaina? Like cocainas? The card attached would say, "Thank you for being a friend." That's it. Thank you, Michael Harriet, for spilling the beans. I would go into WITSEC if I were you, Michael Harriet, because they'll be coming after you. That's all I got. Thanks for listening.